saw it 6 months ago and I felt very empowered by it, and I remember Prem Rawat saying at the time at the BFI, what can we do? So I've taken that on board and I thought I need to share this with the community.
The atmosphere in the room was very real. But it was touching people and it was really genuine.
I thought it was fantastic. I'd seen the trailer anyway, way back in September, and I thought to myself, when it's on, I'm going to be there, and here I am.
It was very, very good. I really enjoyed. I love it to see when people change.
It was touching. It touched me like a lot. Like it made me kind of think as well about when I wake up in the morning, like I'm thankful for taking that breath. And basically the movie really touched me.
It's kind of hard to put it in words. What I loved about the movie is it's very universal. The message can be related to every human being, no matter what culture, religion, or if you don't have a religion, no matter what age or gender you are. That message of peace is the key for every individual to build a positive life from, and that's what the story told.
I'm quite sure with Damon we will be running some sort of PEP course. It would probably be really good to get people before they go into prison and stop them actually getting to the gates of any prison in the UK before they start going down that slippery slope.
We've come from the local churches in Streatham, and so one of the things that we would like to see there is the parts of the programme adapted for teenagers.
To be able to take groups of young people through that, to give them a hope, because lots of them don't have hope. Lots of them don't feel they have a future, and many of them are feeling they don't even have a life past 2021. So if one can instill that in them, for me, you've done a great job.
I think that it's a very good programme to have and to keep it going. And I want to be part of the programme.
It's good that Damon asked me to come, and that's why I'm here to ensure that I'm a solution to the part of the growing problems of young black and white children in prisons.
It's a blessing, if I may use that word, for us to be able to have that in this country, the UK, and to just spread that programme. It will help not just offenders in prison, but it will help those that are working in the organisations, because they're very stressful jobs. It will help families, and we know that the heartbeat of a community is within the family home. So it will help parents. It's something that can be taken into schools. It ticks all the boxes for every person in a community, and that's the beauty about it.
It did remind me what actually we have been experiencing in my own country. The fact that we've got peace today is because the two communities that broke apart 23 years ago have now learned to live, with each other, is because each one of the community, I mean the survivors community and the perpetrators community, have learned how to make peace with themselves first and foremost. And then that has given us an opportunity to have peace as a community.
It's good as well to see how that probably stretches in other parts of society as well. They sort out heroin and other drugs. Maybe other people who aren't criminals sort out perhaps prescription drugs. The same issue is there perhaps to be addressed, is that lack of spirituality, I suppose.
But not even drugs, like, shopping addictions or like
all sorts of things.
Like again, looking outside yourself to find, I suppose, happiness and peace.
What I remembered from the movie was where the individuals were able to actually kind of cry, and the men were able to cry and be quite vulnerable. I think working also for a domestic violence charity and kind of challenging misogyny, I think that idea that men can't cry has been something that in my own personal journey that I've kind of learned that's not true. So I think that was quite inspirational seeing that.
Just seeing that so many of these grown men listening to a calm message like that, but because it's the truth, what they were hearing was obviously captivated their attention and done something within them. But what was so exciting for me is when you saw the transformation of when they came out of prison and what they were doing in their communities.
I think I'm so keen to get the feedback from my community group so I can go to the next stage to promote what they're doing, but sharing this sort of human story from inside piece of what we can do by just simply talking to people and recognising people as human beings. I think there's just so much potential with every group I meet with that simple message. That's where I like to go.
We are going through a very, very challenging times all over the world, especially in this part of the world where probably people have taken peace for granted. And it's very, very important for this kind of films, this kind of messages actually goes out in the communities more often because people really need it.
It brings a breath of fresh air and hope and courage, because we've got so much challenges that we're faced with in the UK, and it's very nice to see solutions, practical solutions that we can use to help us as a community to transform the pain into power.